Imagine if you could unlock the secret to achieving any goal with ease, turning hard work into something you crave. It might sound too good to be true, but what if I told you that the answer lies in a simple, scientifically backed framework? A framework so powerful that it can transform your life in ways you never imagined. But there's a catch. This method isn't about grinding harder or pushing your willpower to its limits. The real secret lies in something much deeper, something most people overlook. In this video, I'm going to reveal the step-by-step process that will make self-improvement feel almost effortless. But first, there's something you need to understand, something that most people get wrong. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know how to build unstoppable momentum in your life, but you'll also discover the one mistake that's been holding you back. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Before we dive into the framework, let's talk about why so many people struggle with self-improvement. Have you ever wondered why it's so hard to stay motivated, even when you know exactly what you need to do? The truth is, our brains are wired to seek out things that feel good in the moment, like scrolling through social media, rather than things that are good for us in the long run. You might be thinking, I've heard this all before. But here's where it gets interesting. What if the same principles that make social media so addictive could be used to make self-improvement just as compelling? What if you could train your brain to crave personal growth the way it craves instant gratification? That's exactly what we're going to explore today. This video isn't just based on theory. Countless hours of research have gone into finding the most effective strategies to rewire your brain for success. The methods I'm about to share with you are grounded in science, but they're also practical and easy to implement. So, if you've ever struggled to stay consistent with your goals, keep watching. The insights you're about to gain could be the missing piece you've been searching for. Let's start with something simple but incredibly powerful. Visual feedback. Have you ever noticed how rewarding it feels to check something off your to-do list? That's no accident. It's a psychological trigger that taps into your brain's reward system. And here's the kicker. You can use this to your advantage in a big way. One technique that I've personally tested and spent weeks refining is turning your calendar into a visual scoreboard. Each day, you complete your tasks, you mark it off with a big red cross. It sounds basic, but the impact is profound. You're not just tracking your progress, you're creating a visual representation of your hard work. Over time, this builds a powerful momentum that's hard to break. But here's the thing. It's not just about marking off days. It's about understanding how this visual feedback loop creates a habit that's almost impossible to ignore. Studies show that consistent visual reinforcement can significantly enhance motivation. Think of it as hacking your brain to crave progress. And trust me, this isn't just a theory. I've seen firsthand how this simple habit can transform lives. But seeing progress is only part of the puzzle. What you hear can be just as transformative. Let's talk about the sounds you surround yourself with. You might think that background noise is just, well, noise. But what if I told you that the right sounds could actually make you more focused, more productive, and even more motivated to stick with your self-improvement journey? I'm talking about binaural beats, something I've experimented with extensively. When I first heard about them, I was skeptical, but after months of trying different frequencies, I found that the right tones can actually help you enter a state of flow where work feels almost effortless. When you listen to two slightly different tones, one in each ear, your brain creates a third tone. This tone can actually influence your brainwaves, helping you get into a focused, productive state. And here's where it gets interesting. Research shows that specific frequencies can boost cognitive functions like concentration and memory. Imagine being able to sit down and instantly feel dialed in, ready to tackle whatever's in front of you. Now, I'll be honest, this took some trial and error. Finding the right frequency, the right volume and the right duration wasn't easy. But once I did, the results were undeniable. And the best part? Over time, your brain starts to crave this state of focus, making it easier and easier to stick with your self-improvement routine. Now, let's talk about building momentum, because even with the best tools, staying motivated can be a challenge. That's where the snowball technique comes in. It's something I've used myself, and I can tell you from experience, it works. The idea is simple. Start with tasks so small, they're almost impossible to fail. You might think, how can something so small make a difference? But here's the secret. These small tasks give you quick wins, which release dopamine, a chemical in your brain that makes you feel good. This isn't just about feeling good, though. It's about creating a feedback loop that keeps you moving forward. I've seen this technique turn procrastinators into productivity machines. For example, start your day by making your bed. It's a small win, but it sets the tone for the rest of the day. Then, drink a glass of water. Another easy win that keeps the momentum going. By the time you get to the bigger tasks, like a workout or a challenging project, you've already built up the momentum you need to succeed. And here's what's fascinating. As you keep using this technique, you'll find that those bigger tasks don't seem so daunting anymore. They're just the next step in a chain of success that you've already started. And the best part? This method isn't just effective, it's enjoyable. You'll actually start to look forward to those small wins. Let's dive into something that might seem counterintuitive: cold showers. You've probably heard about their benefits before, but what you might not know is how they can play a crucial role in making self-improvement sustainable. Cold showers trigger a steady release of dopamine, but unlike the quick spikes you get from things like social media, this release is more gradual and sustained. This is key because it helps you maintain motivation throughout the day without the crash that follows a dopamine spike. When I first started taking cold showers, it wasn't easy. In fact, it was one of the hardest habits I've ever tried to build, but the results were worth it. Not only did I feel more energized, but I also noticed that I was more focused and driven throughout the day. And here's the kicker. This wasn't just a short-term effect. Over time, I found that I was more resilient, more disciplined, and more motivated to tackle challenging tasks. So if you're looking for a way to stay motivated without burning out, I highly recommend giving cold showers a try. They're not easy, but they're one of the most effective tools you can use to rewire your brain for long-term success. Let's talk about something most people get wrong: taking breaks. It's easy to think that breaks should be relaxing and entertaining, but what if I told you that the way you take breaks could be sabotaging your progress? Here's the truth. Taking dopamine-fueled breaks, like scrolling through TikTok or watching a video, can actually make it harder to get back to work. Why? Because your brain gets used to the high levels of stimulation, making your tasks seem dull by comparison. So, what's the solution? Boring breaks. I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. By taking breaks that are less stimulating, like sitting quietly or taking a short walk without your phone, you reset your brain's dopamine levels. This makes it easier to dive back into your work with renewed focus and energy. I've personally tested this approach, and I can tell you, it works. By making my breaks boring, I've been able to maintain my productivity and stay motivated throughout the day. It's a small change, but it makes a big difference. Finally, let's tackle the root of the problem: motivation. You've probably heard about extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. Let's dig deeper into how shifting from external rewards to internal satisfaction can revolutionize your self-improvement journey. Extrinsic motivation is driven by external rewards, like money, praise, or status. It's like using fossil fuels, effective for a while, but eventually you'll run out. Intrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is like harnessing the sun's energy. It's self-sustaining and can fuel your drive indefinitely. Here's how you can make this shift. 1. Cultivate curiosity. Asterisk, dive into subjects that fascinate you, apply new knowledge immediately, and watch your curiosity grow. This keeps you engaged and makes learning an ongoing pleasure rather than a chore. 2. Pursue mastery. Set small, achievable goals that build on each other. This creates a sense of accomplishment and keeps you motivated. Every time you hit a milestone, your brain releases dopamine, reinforcing the behavior. 3. Engage autotelically. Find joy in the process itself, not just the outcome. Do things because they interest you, not just because you want to finish them. This turns every activity into a source of enjoyment. 4. Find purpose. Reflect on the broader impact of your efforts. Understanding the significance of your work can turn routine tasks into meaningful activities. 5. Embrace autonomy. Set your own goals and take control of your progress. This sense of ownership activates your brain's reward system and enhances your motivation. This shift from extrinsic to intrinsic motivation isn't something that happens overnight. It requires time and effort, but the payoff is immense. By focusing on these intrinsic motivators, you'll find that self-improvement becomes a natural and enjoyable part of your life. I've invested a lot of time and energy into researching and refining these strategies to ensure they're practical and effective. From experimenting with binaural beats to testing various productivity techniques, every aspect of this video has been carefully crafted to provide you with actionable insights. If you found this video valuable, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you never miss out on tips that can transform your life. Also, leave a comment below sharing your experiences or questions about self-improvement. Your feedback helps me continue to create content that makes a real difference. Remember, turning self-improvement into a habit you can't resist isn't about instant fixes. It's about consistent, deliberate effort. By applying the techniques we discussed, you're not just setting yourself up for short-term success, you're building a foundation for long-term growth and fulfillment. Thank you for watching, and here's to a future where self-improvement is not just a goal, but a way of life.